life cycle of the road, which will probably extend the life of the road to the point where you may have to invest rehabilitative capital works to further extend the life of the road. So the fiscal requirement for building a road is not just the capital cost one time, you must also program in the maintenance cost of the road. So when you see a pothole emerge in your road today, it is not the government of the day under whose watch the pothole emerge that is the cause of it. They may be responsible because they have to fix it, but that's not what caused it. What caused it in the first place is a system that was not properly developed to manage the life cycle of the road. And that is what Jamaica has faced. So I hear a former Prime Minister come out and criticizing me about roads. If I were a different Prime Minister, I would have answered him in a more direct way. Because roads that he would have built has now fallen to me to maintain. So I want the Jamaican electorate, the Jamaican populace to understand that we have taken a different approach to the maintenance of roads. And it is in the question asked by this gentleman. Have you started now to document each road, when it was built, the useful life, and the fiscal implication of that road? And the answer to you, sir, is yes. I've announced this in Parliament several times, but a lot of people don't take it on because the knowledge isn't there. I'm so happy that someone who understands it has asked the question about how we are transforming the road. So we have now used the data science through GIS mapping to map all the roads in Jamaica. And we are now in a registry which documents their correct state of repair. It documents what their expected useful life is. And now we're going to be doing the other part of it, which is to do the financial mapping, which will take us across budgets to put in place a multi-cycle maintenance plan for roads. And we have launched that program. That program is called the SPARK program, the largest one-time expenditure on local and main roads in Jamaica. We have identified right now, yes, 40 billion Jamaican dollars, over 600 roads are going to be rehabilitated, not patched, rehabilitated. In other words, brought to a point where the useful life is extended, maybe for another 7 years to 10 years if we get good weather. And that has never before happened in Jamaica. So when people are quarreling about the conditions of the roads now, I understand. I am responsible. Yes, I am responsible, and I'll do my best to get the budget to repair them. But please know that a greater transformation is taking place in how Jamaican roads are maintained. Right? Within 10 years, I don't want to go say pothole free by 2003. Some of you might remember that commitment. But within short order, man, you're going to have carpet on every road in Jamaica. God bless
you. But one of my main concerns is the health care. You said that you are implementing scholarships for doctors and nurses. But what are you doing right now for those who are employed? What kind of program, training are you putting in place? Because I'm concerned about this. It was just February 13th that my mom, myself, we went to Jamaica, and I never returned with her. She died in Jamaica. This is her picture. She was buried last week, Saturday. All because staff within the university hospital did not do their due diligence and I would not even take the time to tell you the trauma that I experienced there. So what are you doing currently for those who are there, who are already employed?
Again, please let me join the moderator in extending my sincere condolences on the unfortunate passing of your mom in a Jamaican hospital, I gather. Now, the program that I mentioned, the scholarship program, it's not just for doctors and nurses, it is for a wide variety of healthcare professionals. And a large part of it is focused on ensuring that the healthcare professionals practice the care in healthcare, which would mean the diligence, the patience, and the exercise of proper judgment and risk assessment, and speed and response. The current doctors who are there, I must make this general statement, are generally very well trained and indeed are of world-class standards, which is why they are so well sought after. But I would not be totally honest if I did not also declare that I am concerned, particularly when I hear of cases like yours. Now, I don't know the details, but I have had enough cases brought to my attention where patients and loved ones have complained about quality of service, time and attention. And we have to be honest and realistic that this is something that needs the full focus and attention of the government of Jamaica. And we have had this discussion with Minister Tufton about how do we treat with it. There are complexities because the doctors and nurses feel that they themselves are exposed because the issue of errors, malpractice, and genuine mistakes made do have serious implications, not only for the victims, but for the medical professionals themselves. But as we improve the healthcare system, it is my commitment, as I said earlier, to ensure that our doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals practice with the highest regard and respect for the preservation of the life of every Jamaican or anyone who comes into their care, regardless of economic state or social status. So it is a commitment of the government to ensure that these matters are addressed. And those that come to our attention, we ensure that they are thoroughly investigated so that there is not a sense of impunity or immunity emerging in our healthcare system, where people feel that they don't have to give the best and highest quality of care because there is no consequence for failure to properly practice. I want to give you the assurance, and if your situation is one that would need a review, please bring it to my attention and we will have such done.
Thank you.
But that effectiveness, I think, is partly due to my effective education earned in Jamaica. And so improvements, teacher recognition and teacher salaries, and the fact that often our teachers there are being recruited here.
Of the time. I recently empaneled a national commission to review Jamaica's education system, and we have launched a program to transform Jamaica's education system. I'm not of the view that our current education system is sufficient to take us to the level of growth that we need. And I think generally parents are of that view as well. The education system is in dire need of radical reform. We have put in place a program to build 7 new schools. We're going to call them STEAM schools: science, technology, education, arts, and mathematics. That's what they're going to be focused on. They're going to be state-of-the-art schools, purpose-built with all the labs and the modern functioning classroom to introduce all kinds of new teaching and learning styles and to integrate and incorporate technology from the root up. So that is in the works to come. As it relates to teachers and pay, the truth is that we would like to pay our teachers more. I believe our teachers deserve to be paid more. And as I say that, I can hear the nurses looking at me side-eye. And so I know I'm going to get into all kinds of problems. But if you consider that, you know, teaching is the core of everything else, that yes, I was a Minister of Education, so people will understand my bias in this regard. But there is a practical concern. And you know, we can't create
focus placed on balancing the books, debt reduction, and the stabilizing of the economy. Commendably, now we have achieved relative macroeconomic stability and have greater fiscal space. But my question is, when does the real growth begin? What are the plans to drive significant economic growth, not just over the next 5 years, but to lay a foundation over the next 25 years to reach and see true prosperity?
Powerful question. So we have announced a pivot. We're not coming off the ground that we have claimed, which is economic stability, but we're going to lift, you know, one of our feet, and we're going to put it on another step. We're going to make a turn, and that is towards growth. And to do that, there are several strategies that we have in place. One of the strategies is to focus on agriculture. In a disruptive and chaotic world, food security is important. Jamaica must be able to always feed itself, and that is why we're making massive investments in irrigating the arable lands that we have, particularly in St. Elizabeth, Manchester, and Clarendon. Some of you may have heard about the massive agricultural area in St. Elizabeth and Pedro Plains. Thank you. So the people in the audience know. So the Pedro Plains project has been talked about for over 50 years. It is bringing water from the Black River to irrigate all of those very arable land. And we have started that project. It's a $60 billion project the government has started. We are irrigating the Essex Valley, and we are irrigating some other areas in Clarendon. And that will create several thousand hectares of land for agriculture. So that is going to be an important plank of growth in agriculture. A part of growth is the speed at which you do business, the ease of business, and the cost of doing business. In the United States, you're struggling with something called Doge. You know, that's looking at the cost of the bureaucracy. We have to focus in Jamaica on the efficiency of the bureaucracy. Because nothing that you do can get done without a bureaucracy. But bureaucracies can become self-indulgent, meaning purpose fit for supporting business and growth in Jamaica. So I just pointed you to two growth initiatives.
Social Security office in Jamaica, they're being given a ringaroll. I myself picked my phone up and called down there. And Prime Minister, you put on hold the ticket to Negril and back tomorrow and be. I'm going to give you a ringaroll all around the Rosie. So I don't know, what can you do to allow citizens from Jamaica who lives in the United States, in Canada, in London, that they can get their pensions? Because even if there's a lifeboat to talk about, They do all of that, and it's still a problem, Prime Minister. So what can you do to assist them, sir?
You raised a problem which has been raised with me just recently, where there was a glitch in the delivery of certain. But you are saying that you are experiencing what you would say is a long-term problem.
It's a long-term problem.
Right. So what I will do now is a program to reform the bureaucracy. That, to me, sir, seems to be an area that I should direct Minister Marks to immediately look at. What is the customer service and business processes being employed for the dispatch of pensions to Jamaicans, overseas or in Jamaica?
Thank you very much.
So if you were before me in court, right, the bail, you'd be held in contempt and you'd be taken away. But we're in a nice church, Dr. Green's church, right? So let me say this to you. I want to hear every question that's here tonight, but we will be here until the wee hours of the morning. The Prime Minister would like to answer every question, but that would be impossible. And the folks who are here with him and the Secret Service, they need to usher him to another location, okay? So I appreciate you. You are amazing. The amount of time that you spent here today. I love all of you. We're gonna have this lady right here with the cream colored dress. She's gonna ask a question. Listen, everyone else, I implore you, I encourage you to send your questions into the Consul General's office, and we'll make sure that it's answered. Finally, with respect to the last question that was asked.
Go ahead.
All right.
I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis on an app called Clubhouse, and one of the things that I'm always asked as a Jamaican is, when are we going to open up flights to more places in Africa? I speak to a lot of people across the continent on a daily basis. And that's my question, because they want to know.
Question. So let me give you
They want to know,
news.
they want to know.
So let me give you some good news. You know we have an air service agreement signed with Nigeria.
Correct.
And we had an inaugural flight, I believe it was last year. And now, the last time I checked, is that the flights are now coming in. So I believe they had one recently, and others are planned. It's always a challenge because of the distance, but we have a very strong agreement with Nigeria. So you're going to see more people from the African continent coming to Jamaica directly.
I am a realtor, and I want to say something positive, that I have a lot of people that do want to buy property in Jamaica. I actually enrolled. There's a course that you can do, a Zoom, so that's why I was trying to say something positive so that we can get back into Jamaica, like you were saying.
Yes.
You can actually take a real estate course.
So you are a realtor registered in Jamaica.
I'm going to do the Zoom. It's going to be in July, and so I'm going to be doing real estate in Jamaica. So I want to say that because people don't realize that if you're already a realtor here or anywhere in the United States, Jamaica will allow you to take a course and then you can actually do real estate. Because there are a lot of people here that do want to buy in Jamaica.
And let me endorse that plug.
Yes.
There are a lot of properties, a lot of developments that rival the developments here in Miami. And I would encourage you to buy property in Jamaica.
Yes,
God bless you all. Thank you for coming out. You've been a wonderful audience.
Before I go, hold on. Prime Minister, hold on. A gentleman in the community, listen carefully. Gentleman in the community who has brought 2 big pots of soup for all you to enjoy, he also has a lovely painting, and it's a gentleman who we all know very well. Mr. Mark Cameron is going to make a special presentation now to the Prime Minister. Round of applause. One Jamaica. One love. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. All hands in the air now. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. One love, Jamaica. Thanks for coming out. We love you.
are you here? I mean,
Get the number 2 door open, please.
what happened?